Alright, so I read the feedback that you guys gave me on the last video and it was like pretty helpful. So I'm gonna be trying something new. It's like these next few videos are gonna be like different from the content that I regularly make. So like just basically gonna be spitballing ideas, see what sticks and what you guys wanna watch. So like I actually like decided to start making this video because of something that I saw in like the gaming sphere. So just to put it out there. So for people who don't know, Unity is a cross-platform gaming engine created by Unity themselves. So Unity recently made a statement saying that they're going to have a new runtime fee for games that were made from their engine. The fees vary due to the fact that they're locked behind subscription plans. For example, Unity Personal and Plus members have a flat rate of 20 cents per install. Meanwhile, the other memberships are more flexible. Unity Pro goes down to as little as 2 cents per install, while Unity Enterprise goes down to at least 1 cent per install. Keep in mind, these are monthly rates, so essentially these are just subscription services. This left the gaming dev community in an uproar, and for a pretty good reason. Having to pay this fee out of nowhere is pretty insane. And not only that, but this applies to games that were made before this change is even implemented, meaning games like Cuphead, Hollow Knight, Call of the Lamb, and even Genshin Impact will be heavily affected by this change. Come January 1st, Unity will start charging this fee. The ambiguous nature of this fee has drawn a lot of criticism and concerns. Small indie companies such as Aggro Crab Studios, Landfall Studios, and Massive Monster have sent out statements on Twitter discussing their anger and thoughts on the whole situation. I'm just going to be doing a quick TLDR for these responses so that way they don't take up the entirety of the video. Pretty much, most of the companies are thinking about jumping ship and going to other gaming engines. I'll link their full responses that they had in the description below. As of recording this video, Unity has backtracked on a few of their guidelines, but there's still a lot to talk about. Unity is now saying that developers only have to pay for the initial installation of a game, rather than people that re-download or delete games and then re-download them again. But then there's also the fact of Game Pass and PS Plus Extra. Things are still unclear on how those will be calculated. After checking their site again, they stated that the parent companies are going to be the ones that are paying for that split. So meaning Microsoft and Sony are going to have to pay Unity just for their games to be used, which is going to step on a lot of toes in the industry. On top of that, demos are still going to somewhat trigger the initial installation, although they say most won't, but it's still up for debate. They haven't clarified yet. My thought on this whole situation is that it doesn't really make much sense. Like, it seems like this fee was made in thought of the shareholders and higher ups rather than the actual developers that are making the game. Also, why would this apply to games that were made before this fee was even implemented? It's supposed to be implemented on January 1st. Why should a game from like 2017 adhere to these policies? It doesn't make any sense. Maybe for games moving forward, but not for games that were out for decades or so. I feel like there's a lot of gray areas that can be exploited or even bankrupt game developers. I'll give you an example. Genshin Impact was made in Unity, and they said that they have sold over 127 million copies. So say that they had a Unity Pro account. Going off their guidelines alone, that means they'll have to pay somewhere between $19 to $20 million. That's just a ridiculous amount of money having to pay out of nowhere. And that's not even including their other game, Honkai Star Rail, which performed just as well. Also, what about games that were made strictly for free-to-play? Should they be punished that they do well and now have to pay an exorbitant fee out of pocket? Or what if you decide your game is doing well and then you decide to get a Unity Pro account rather than a Unity personal account? Do you pay the fee before or after you switch subscriptions? On top of that, how will they be able to account for legitimate downloads? What about pirated games? What about demos? What about downloading a second time or through Xbox, Game Pass, or the regular app, or just even PlayStation? It makes you think and question why they didn't use a more known model of gaining revenue, like revenue share. For those who don't know what revenue share is basically what the name implies. Basically, a company, in this case Unity, will get a percentage of the total revenue depending on how well a game or product performs. So if a game does really well, then they get paid well, and if they don't, well, they'll still get a certain amount of fee, but won't be taking as much. From these guidelines that they gave, it seems like this just hurts smaller developers rather than the bigger ones. This won't hurt big gaming companies, but this will impact smaller gaming companies, or even deals done by Microsoft and PlayStation, or hell, even like other publishers. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and also tell me what you guys thought about this type of video. So I'll see you guys next time.